If you notice, I am all dolled up in pearls. Let's discuss. Welcome back to my sewing room. I have been so very inspired lately and feeling so grateful for all of your support, and I'm really excited for today's video, or starting today's project rather. In my last video where I made the gray dress with the cape with the blue lining, it was such a vibe. I am obsessed with capes right now. If my shirt is going to give anything away, today is the start of the pearl project. I found this beautiful pearl tweed, I suppose, at Joann for such a good price. I have 4 yards of it and I'm so excited to use it. In the realm of vintage fashion, some elements stand out as timeless symbols of elegance and sophistication. Among these treasures, pearls hold a distinguished place. From their association with iconic figures to their enduring allure on the runway, pearls embody vintage charm and grace. In this video, let us explore the significance of pearls in vintage as well as modern fashion, tracing their evolution through history and examining their allure through contemporary style. And so I want to sew another cape. The difference is the gray cape was more of separate to go with the dress. I don't really know what it would look like with something else. I guess I could wear it with something else, but it's a matching set. So I want to use this Vogue vintage reproduction pattern. It's Vogue V1838. I will leave links where you can find this pattern, but I want to use it to sew up view B. So I have like full on cape situation that I can throw on over jeans, throw on over a dress, all of it. So I think this fabric is perfect. We had warmed up here a bit in Kentucky and now we're back in the gray. I do think I will get some wear out of it before the winter ends. Thank you for all the support you've been showing on my most recent videos. They're coming out more because the more engaged you are, the more community and support I feel, and it just really encourages me to want to create more. If you've noticed, my style is styling. I am figuring out who I am and how I want to dress and how I want to present myself to the world, and that's what fashion is. That's what clothing is. It's a reflection of the inside to the outside, and so I'm just happy to be figuring myself out in more ways than one. We're gonna get to sewing. Let's get into what I am calling the Pearl Project. Pearls, the radiant gems of the sea, have fascinated humans for ages. The history of pearls is as rich and diverse as the gemstones themselves, reflecting the evolution of societies, economies, and aesthetics. This pattern comes in sizes small, medium, large, extra large, and 2X. I think we're gonna go with the medium. We're gonna do view B because I want the longer cape. I have yet to open this. Let's do so now. Starting with instructions. I wonder how many pieces. 10 pieces. The front, the back, front interfacing, back neck interfacing, loops. What do we need loops for? That's kind of scary. Front facing, under collar B, upper collar B, front lining, back lining. I need to go dig through my linings and see what I have to line this with. I wonder what they suggest I line this with. In the chronicles of fashion history, the 1950s stand as a remarkable era marked by elegance, sophistication, and profound appreciation of timeless beauty. Among the array of embellishments adorning the fashion landscape, pearls emerged as quintessential symbols of grace and refinement during this period. The allure of pearls captivated the fashion world, adorning women with an aura of sophistication and allure that defined the quintessential 1950s style. This was the closest thing that I had that could be used as lining fabric. Sorry if you hear my kids outside screaming. They're playing with the neighbor's kids and they are loud. So this is pretty thin. It's not like silky or anything, but it's what I have, and I don't think the lining's gonna show much. I hate that it has this gold in there because there's silver strings in here, but it is what it is. I don't hate it, and I don't want to run out to the store or try and buy anything, so it is what it is. So yeah, I'm gonna get the pattern pieces situated, and look how heavy this is. This is just like a dream. And I was careful. I wanted to choose something that didn't have a lot of seams, and so when I'm putting my pattern pieces down, I'm going to make sure the seams are not where any of the pearls go, and I want to be like really selective of how I lay them out. So I think this is going to just be fun and something so different from anything that I've done, because I've never worked with any fabric like this. I am beyond excited, so let's just get started. Throughout history, pearls have been associated with iconic figures whose style continued to inspire contemporary fashion trends. Coco Chanel, the visionary fashion designer, popularized the use of pearls in her designs, revolutionizing women's fashion in the early 20th century. Chanel's timeless elegance and affinity for simplicity elevated pearls to the forefront of haute couture, making them a staple in every fashion-forward woman's wardrobe. The prominence of pearls in 1950s fashions was not solely confined to the realm of attire. They also invaded popular culture and social norms. Icons of the era, such as Audrey Hepburn and Grace Kelly, embodied the personification of excellence, often seen adorned with pearls in their most iconic roles, both on and off the screen. Hepburn's iconic portrayal of Holly Golightly in Breakfast at Tiffany's immortalized the image of little black dress associated with a string of pearls, embodying timeless chic. Grace Kelly, renowned for her impeccable style as a princess and actress, often adorned herself with pearls, reinforcing their association with regal elegance and timeless beauty. The influence of these style icons further solidified pearls as an essential component of a woman's wardrobe, inspiring generations of fashion enthusiasts to emulate their timeless glamour. In the aftermath of World War II, the 1950s asserted an era of economic prosperity and societal transformation. This newfound affluence fostered a resurgence of luxury and opulence, reflected vividly in the fashion choices of the era. Against this backdrop, pearls emerged as a coveted accessory adorning women's attire with an air of understated glamour. The simplicity of pearls complemented the classic silhouette of the era, enhancing the allure of the garments ranging from tailored suits to evening gowns. Additionally, pearls found their way into the realm of accessories, adorning gloves, handbags, even shoes. Their versatility allowed them to seamlessly integrate into various facets of women's fashion, elevating even the simplest of ensembles with a touch of sophistication. So I have all of the pattern pieces cut out, but not out of the fabric yet. What I was a little bit worried about is when it comes to marking on this fabric. So I want to try a couple of my different water eraser pens and see if they actually erase or what they'll do to this fabric before I start. I don't want to ruin this. It's cream, it's tweed, so my chalk isn't gonna show up, my white chalk. I don't know about the red chalk. I just want to try a couple different methods and see what happens, and then we'll get started on getting the pattern pieces pinned down and getting everything cut out. Okay, so this one did work. I was able to erase the markings with spray starch. The chalk is still on there, that's what you see, but the blue from this marker, if I can find it, I think I got it from Amazon, I'll link it, but it did come out, so that's the one we're going to use. So I'm starting with cutting out pieces 1 and 2 because they're the front and the back, and they're the most important to make sure we have enough fabric for. So we need, a pearl went flying. Oh, this is so heavy. We need 2 of each piece. And as I said, I'm going to do my best to make sure I am not cutting pearls. So I'm going to cut it with the right sides up so that way I can see what's happening. At least I'll be able to tell the right side from the wrong side with this fabric. I struggle a lot with that. So we're going to get this situated and see what's happening. So the way I have this laid out, there's no pearls I'm going to have to cut, but I think there may be a few in the seam line that we might have to just remove. I did my best, but on this piece I was able to lay out the back, the collar, and the back neck facing, and I was able to get the facing in a place where there are no pearls, and so that's cool. And I was able to lay piece number 5 in a place where there are no pearls, and it's for the loops. So yes, feeling good so far. We even have pearl pins. Now, if we want to go back a little bit further than the 50s, the fascination with pearls traces back to ancient civilizations. Egyptians and Chinese valued pearls for their mystical allure and association with immortality. The earliest recorded mention of pearls dates back to around 2300 BC in the Chinese historical text Shu King. In ancient Rome, pearls symbolized wealth and status, adorning the elite and appearing in extravagant displays during festivities. So I've got the center back pinned together, and luckily there are no pearls to remove yet. I thought this was going to be as simple as like cutting them off, but they're actually on here really good with like a metal piece. So I'm gonna have to like try and take it out of the weave of the fabric without messing up the fabric in places where they're gonna need to come out. So that's gonna be interesting, but so far so good. We've got the darts in and none of the markers showing on the front. There's a little piece right there, but I'll spray it and get it off. Yep, just need to get those wet and it should come right off and we'll be good. So I'm gonna do the center back and then we'll work on the front. So this is piece number 1 and it has so many markings, it's a little frightening. I think I do understand that this is that opening that will be for the armhole, so that doesn't freak me out too bad. And then this is the fold line for the interfacing. I've decided I don't want to just line it with anything, so I've ordered some lining that will be here in a few days. So won't be a one-day project, but we'll see. I am going to draw this line in just so I know the fold line and because my marker's been behaving. And then I've put in some of the markings for this arm line, which was a little confusing because how they merge right here, but I think I did a good job. Those are stitching lines, so, and then those are the buttonholes, and I think I'm going to do actual buttons and not whatever it was they were saying, the loops or whatever. I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm going to get the dart in, and it looks like once again we are clear of pearls. So because this is the fold line, everything on this side of it, all the pearls are going to have to be removed because it's going to fold in like that, and I just don't think that would feel good on the inside. So I'm going to figure out now how to go about removing those, and I'm sure that will come in handy when I have to remove other ones. So removing these pearls out of the seam lines is a bit of a nightmare. I'm using fray check and tweezers, and this will be on the inside. I'm just hoping we don't have to remove any in any other spaces. Like this one is gonna have to go. That's a buttonhole. Maybe we'll move it little quarter of an inch or so to not be in that line. Pearls have decorated civilizations for centuries, captivating the imagination of artists, royals, and fashion enthusiasts alike. Ancient cultures revered pearls for their rarity and their luminous beauty, considering them symbols of purity and wealth. In ancient Rome, pearls were prized as a status symbol, adorning the attire of emperors and aristocrats. We're back to work on the pearl project. Not sure exactly where I am because I've been working on a few other things while I was waiting on the lining to come. Remember when I said, oh, I'm just going to line it with whatever? I decided this was too nice to just line with whatever. And then remember when I said that the blue pin was coming off? It has like bled all over this. I think when it's all finished, I might soak it in water or something and see what happens. I don't even know, but we're going to stop using it. So we did get lining, and then I bought a slip dress to wear under it. All of this from Amazon. The purse and the shoes. So I'm going to figure out where exactly we are. I'm going to cry about the blue. I sprayed this with starch and hung it. I'm going to get a water bottle and see if that happens. Some of these lines, like this is the facing, so it'll go in. You won't see that. And then those are like button lines. I'm literally terrified of what this marker has done. Yeah, I don't even have a strategy for fixing this. During the Renaissance, pearls experienced a resurgence in popularity. European nobility, including Queen Elizabeth I of England, adorned themselves with pearls as a symbol of power and prestige. The discovery of pearl-rich territories in the Americas fueled demand and intensified the pursuit of the coveted gems. Spanish conquistadors such as Hernán Cortés sought pearls alongside gold, leading to exploitation and depletion of pearl oyster beds. As fashion trends evolved, pearls continued to reinvent themselves, remaining relevant in contemporary style. From classic pearl strands to modern interpretations in avant-garde designs, pearls transcend generations, appealing to fashion enthusiasts of all ages. Designers continually experiment with pearls, incorporating them in statement pieces such as oversized earrings, layered necklaces, and embellished accessories. In recent years, pearls have experienced a resurgence in popularity, gracing the runways of esteemed fashion houses and inspiring fashionistas worldwide. Their versatility allows them to seamlessly transition from formal occasions to everyday wear, adding a touch of refinement to any ensemble, whether paired with vintage-inspired attire or contemporary couture. Pearls invoke a sense of timeless allure and sophistication. So yesterday I was working with piece number 3, which is the piece for the interfacing, but I didn't have the right kind of interfacing, so I just called it a day. And so they want you to use sew-in interfacing for this, but I'm going to use a piece of the lining that I was going to originally use and interface it. And then since the entire cape will be faced, you won't see this anyway. And so I think that's going to give it a little bit more structure. Plus, I don't really know or like that sew interfacing that I have. If you know what kind I'm supposed to be using, please feel free to let me know in the comments, because I just don't. So I'm basically turning a piece of fabric that I interface into sewing interfacing. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take piece number 3, cut it out of some random fabric, and interface it with the kind of interfacing that I do like, and then use it in its place. And this cape is so thick, not sure why it needs interfacing in the first place. If you know the answer to that, you can let me know that as well. And so that's what we're going to do. Okay, so now I have assembled 3 and 4 together. I hope I put this part of the collar correct. I think that I did. We're gonna see. And they want me to pin interfacing to wrong side of front and back, based along seam lines, and catch along fold lines. And then they want me to catch stitch this along this fold line. I am going to pull out a sewing book and learn how to make a catch stitch because I've never made one before. Okay, so we're going to start working on the collar. This is piece number 7. I have 2 of fabric, 2 of interfacing. I'm going to go iron down the interfacing and then we'll seam them together at center back. Got the nails done. And it is time to choose buttons. What do we think of these? Or these? These I feel like will look so good because of the dress that I plan to wear under it. But I'm not gonna always wear that same dress under it. And then we got some basics, you know. Some basics. I'm leaning towards these. What do you guys think? I mean, if you're gonna do it, right? Or does it clash? Oh, decisions. Due to this resurgence, pearls face some environmental challenge. Overfishing, habitat destruction, and pollution threaten natural pearl oyster populations. Conservation efforts and sustainable practices are increasingly prioritized to preserve marine ecosystems and ensure the longevity of pearl cultivation. Enters cultured pearls, which are just as beautiful. In the late 19th century, the invention of cultured pearls by Kokichi Mikimoto, hope I pronounced that right. Through meticulous experimentation, Mikimoto succeeded in cultivating pearls by introducing irritants into oysters, mimicking the natural pearl growing process. This innovation made pearls more accessible to a broader audience and transformed the market dynamics of the gemstone industry. I love pearls, and I think wearing them adds an aura of timeless elegance and sophistication to one's appearance, making it a quintessential choice for those aspiring to a classy demeanor. They add sophistication and versatility, whether to jeans and a t-shirt, work attire, or an evening ball gown. Their simple yet captivating beauty exudes a refined charm that transcends trends and fads. They are timeless and they make great heirlooms. Unlike other fashion accessories that may lose their allure over time, pearls remain eternally chic. They have endured as a symbol of sophistication throughout history, and I don't think they will ever lose their timeless appeal. What do you think? Do you like pearls? Do you wear them in attire, jewelry, accessories? Do you have heirlooms, pearls that belong to your grandmother or another family member? My wedding jewelry, my brother's wife wore in her wedding, and one of my best friends is going to wear coming up in her wedding, and I wore them when we went to Vegas for my husband's cousin's wedding, and it just adds to the story, and they just never go out of style. So I would love to hear your thoughts on pearls or any family heirlooms of pearls, or even if you don't like them, I would like to know that as well. So please share your thoughts with me in the comments. This is wrong on so many levels. I cannot even explain them all. The instructions were so confusing. I wasn't supposed to pull that facing in yet, but I've already put the buttonholes in. So now I'm just gonna take the lining around and then probably like try to hand stitch it in, make it look as nice as possible. But the instructions, 2 thumbs down, 0 out of 10. Horrible. This is just so wrong. Oh, and that blue stuff is not coming out. It goes away when I spray it, and then it comes back. Watch. I've been spraying it and spraying it and spraying it. It acts like it disappears, but then it returns. So, there's that. And yeah, just super depressing at this point, so. If you are enjoying these styles of videos where I incorporate history into what I'm sewing and we get a little bit more in depth and I'm using better fabrics and the quality is just really up, then I ask that you show some support. And that is not always monetary. Give this video a share. Leave me a comment. I just got my first super thanks a couple weeks ago, so thank you, friend. I really, really appreciate that. I have a Ko-fi you can give to if you would like to. My next project is a Christian Dior project. Apple TV has just released a show called New Look, which I'm only in the 2nd episode. We'll get into that, but I will be sewing a vintage Christian Dior pattern with some really, really nice fabric. It's an expensive project that's gonna take a lot to put into. So if you could, those links will be in the description. If not, everything that I am using in these videos, I will start to link in the description, and I will make a small commission if you choose to purchase that way. I am very, very proud of this project. I'm proud of the cape in the way that I chose my accessories, the way that I am developing my style. I really do love pearls, and sewing things and creating things I love, I think you guys are loving because it's coming across as more authentic and more genuine, but it's really just me figuring out my own style and how to represent it, and through this channel I've been able to do that. We're finishing up the pearl project. What I want to do today is work on the shoes. So I've already started one. I'm so used to having the red on the bottom of my shoes, but now my husband has me on this thing called a budget. It's a whole thing. I won't get into it. But I am learning to be a little bit more fiscally responsible, and that the girl does make the clothes. Or in this case, the girl does make the clothes. Well, the clothes don't make the girl. Or rather the price tag or anything like that. So these shoes were a really good deal on Amazon. And so I'm going to add pearls to the bottom of them. I've started this one. It wasn't really a hard process, but then I realized I want to do some down the side here maybe where you can see it. Not far, but just to maybe right there where it shows up a little bit on the side. I haven't decided yet, but I'm going to do the other shoe. And I thought I would film it just so you guys could see me do it. There are these little pearl adhesives I got from Amazon, and they stick right on. And it's on there, and I think it looks pretty cute. So I've never done anything like that before, so yeah, I'm excited. I don't know. They come in all sizes. I don't know if we should put some going down the side or not. Maybe some really small ones on this little crease right here if I have the steady hands to pull off something like that. So we're going to give that a try, and we're going to wait on the dresses, and then we'll use the machine, that thing over in this area, to put the pearls on the dress. So let's do the shoes, watch some TV, and wait on the Amazon. Wasn't sure if I explained or not, but we're waiting on the Amazon man because that very first dress that I ordered to go underneath the cape was a negligee, basically. It was not a dress that could be worn. Well, I mean, do you? It could be worn outdoors, but for me, it would be a hard no. So I had to wait for some other dresses that I ordered to be delivered, and all of the links you will be able to find in these shoes. Yeah, they came out so cute. I believe wearing pearls is more than just a fashion choice. It is a timeless expression of elegance, refinement, and sophistication, whether donned for a special occasion like a wedding or incorporated into everyday attire. Pearls have the remarkable ability to elevate one's style and impact a sense of grace and poise that is truly unmatched. For those seeking to exude class and charm, pearls are undoubtedly the embodiment of timeless beauty and quiet luxury. That's the new aesthetic. Their understated allure captivated the imagination of fashion enthusiasts, leaving a mark on the fabric of fashion history that continues to resonate to this day. So I implore you to go back and check out the shorts playlist because it has like all of the details that I didn't want to make an hour-long video, but I ordered 3 dresses and I chose one to add the pearls to, and so this is what I'm doing now. The machine it's not hard at all. I was just a little bit leery of just trying to make sure it all looked right, and in the end I ended up adding them to the neckline, which I really think is super cute, and I added them to the back on the slit. I want to go in later and add some around that seam line that's at the bust, but it is not a hard process. It's just a time-consuming process, but yeah, that's where I want to add them there, but that'll come later. The history of pearls is a testament to humanity's enduring fascination with natural beauty and rarity. From ancient civilizations to modern societies, pearls have transcended times and cultures, embodying elegance, mystique, and timeless allure. As guardians of our oceans and custodians of tradition, we bear the responsibility to protect and preserve the treasures of the sea for generations to come. I hope to give the pearl cape to my daughter, who then gives it to her own daughter. I hope my daughter wears these earrings at her wedding and her daughter wears them at hers. That is my hope. And I hope to see you in the next video that is soon and sure to come. Now let's go look at that cape. So this is what you came here for. I have on my bracelets for my wedding. I have on my earrings for my wedding. This is the headpiece I ordered off of Amazon. I think the pearls look so cute on the bust line. I think the shoes came out so cute. This was such a fun project. The purse is adorable. I cannot wait to wear this all out. I really, really, really love it. I hope you do too. There's the pearls on the slit and on the bottom of the shoes, and I feel like so cute. I mean, is this the whole quiet luxury thing? The cape is not quiet at all. It is just luxurious. It is absolutely beautiful, and I feel like it's a work of art. Like, I am finally getting there. It's like, let me know what you think. There are flaws, of course, in this cape, like many flaws, but it is just not something that I ever dreamed of being able to construct and to share. And I'm blown away by myself. I am not gonna lie. Like, I really, really love this. And I know that there is no way I could wear this out in public and not turn heads. And the fact that the fabric was such a good price for something like that feels so luxurious. It's from Joanne. I'll leave a link for that as well. I just really, really enjoyed this project. I enjoyed the research aspect. It incorporated everything that I love, like the sewing, with the history, with just putting together the accessories. Like, I just really, really enjoyed it. I hope you all did too. Please interact with the video. Please give it a share. Please give it a comment. Please say hello, because I'm off. I am off. She is off in her cape. But I will see you in my next video that is soon and sure to come.